I'm back with some wonderful friends.
There we go.
I almost went up with it. Old,
Bess?
I just put it in. I've never cooked like this before.
and new. You've got a very naughty look about you. They all want my help in the kitchen.
If you don't mind me taking notes.
You've no time to make notes. You're going to
Okay.
be cooking.
Well, you want me to do it? This is the bit that frightens me.
Some,
And now we're cooking.
a little more than others.
Emergency.
So I've created fantastic new recipes. Sizzle, sizzle.
Whoever cooked that is sensational.
Oh, Mary.
Whether you call it dinner, supper, or tea,
I've got this.
these foolproof dishes will guarantee success every time.
Oh, you're like the fourth emergency service. I'm famished.
There's nothing better than celebrating a special occasion with delicious food. I'm here to meet the lovely Sara Davies, who turns 40 this year.
It's all about impressing Mary today. I think she quite like that one. It feels right. It's got pockets. Who doesn't love a dress in pockets?
Known as a TV dragon and craft master, Sara wants to celebrate her milestone year. While she has no trouble coming up with clever craft ideas, she's struggling with her dinner party menu, so I'm here to help. I've invited Sara to the magnificent Cliveden House. It's a setting sure to inspire.
Oh,
How lovely to see you. You look absolutely delicious. How about this then?
it's just beautiful.
It is wonderful. Now, this is your 40th birthday year, and you're a great party girl.
I do love a good party, I'm not going to lie.
I've got lots of things up my sleeve for you.
Don't I know you've got lots of things up your sleeve, Mary? I am like your biggest fan.
Cliveden House sits beside the tranquil Thames in beautiful Berkshire. It's witnessed some extraordinary parties, including a few of my own. This room is really special to me. It's called the boudoir. And when my mother was 100, we had tea for the family here. Very classic tea, beautiful cakes, tiny sandwiches, very special.
So what do you class as tea, then? So you say you had tea in here, so is that like afternoon tea with
That was
scones?
afternoon tea. But when it comes to the main meal of the day, do you call it tea, supper, dinner? What do you call it?
Up north, dinner's what we had for lunch. And tea is what I would have when I come in from school. And my grandma, she was a Mary. My grandma was all for making us whatever we wanted for tea.
Spoiling you, in other words.
Well, yes. So I used to have golden syrup and banana toasties. And my little sister used to like Yorkshire puddings, so my grandma would set to and do her a plate of Yorkshire puddings and gravy. And that was a tea.
Very, very, very healthy. Well, I know what it's like to spoil the grandchildren. But it's spoiling party guests that we need to talk about. You've got lots of parties planned, have you, for your 40th?
Oh, I've just decided I'm doing a whole year of celebrating, Mary. I figured you only turn 40 once. I'm going to make the most of it.
But I think you're a little bit worried about the cooking, is that right?
I've been trotting out the same lasagna, Mary, for 20 years now. I love it if I go to someone's for a dinner party and I really feel like they've made the effort to home cook everything and it feels special. I want to be that Susie homemaker.
I found the perfect spot to get cooking.
Now, wow.
With a foolproof recipe that is sure to get Sara's party started. So, crab cake.
I love crab cakes.
We're going to make little ones, which
Right.
are excellent to go with drinks. Great for a party.
Oh, like a little canapé.
A little canapé.
Oh, and do you know what? That crab looks fabulous. And I actually live near Whitby. I'm sure we have the best crab in the country.
The subtle flavours of the white crab are boosted with full-fat mayonnaise. Lemongrass paste, which is easily available, and freshly grated ginger.
I do like a bit of ginger in everything. I like to do a ginger shot on the morning. Ginger and apple.
Gosh, early in the morning, I think that would kill me. Sweet chilli sauce for a final punch. You're good at following recipes, though.
So I'm one of those people, Mary. I'll do it exactly as you say. If I'm following a recipe, I'll lay all the stuff out like I see you do on the telly, because otherwise you'll forget something.
A whisked egg and panko breadcrumbs will bind the crab. Salt and pepper, of course, and finally some coriander.
This is what they call a tag team, Mary.
I'm the sous chef.
You the sous chef. I'm going to be dining out on that, Mary. You're doing it for a lot of years.
That's the fish cake mix done. You can't go wrong. Right, now we're going to make about 30 small ones, so let's just mash it down and I'll just divide it so that we know how far it's going.
That's a great idea, actually. If you get 3 out of that and we get 4 out of the next one, a little bit bigger.
You're in control, I think.
I think I am. I'm used to being in control, Mary.
And she's quick too. They're done in no time. Now to cook them. Simply roll them in a little more of the panko breadcrumbs. A love of outdoor cooking is something Sara and I have in common. It's a bit like camping. And you are a great camper.
Well, I always feel like I cheat calling it camping. I love my camper van. And my dad built my camper van. So me and my mum like to do a bit of cooking in the mini kitchen in the camper van.
We used to go on camper holidays. We'd stay on a farm and then go off in the camper van. But as soon as we got back to the farm, everybody would disappear and I would clean out the van. And it was like...
It's the worst job, isn't it?
It used to look like the bottom of a parrot's cage. Sunflower oil into a hot pan and we're ready to go. Then lift them one by one into the pan.
Oh, you want me to do it?
Just come on.
Oh, right, OK, so...
Oh, you're going to be on your own?
Yes, true.
That's right, drop them in. That's lovely. Can you hear the little sizzle?
I can hear the sizzle.
Yep.
Oh, actually, it's not quite as scary as I was thinking it was going to be. Oh, they look very fancy, don't they?
Fry in small batches to give them room. 2 to 3 minutes each side should do the job. Oh, those look champion, don't they?
I'm fancying myself as quite the little cook now, Mary, you know. Your little apprentice is doing well here.
To serve on the side, a fresh salsa. Sweet chilli sauce. More lemongrass paste. Spring onion, ginger, cucumber, coriander, and crisp sliced radish for its bite and colour.
In it goes.
Mix together with sunflower oil, and there we have it.
Oh, this is lovely, isn't it? You know, I'd never think to make a salsa like this.
Put a little bit very carefully on the top of each one and we'll have a taste. 3 on a plate and then a pile. Okay. That's just perfect. You have got the artist's touch. Who's going to be first? You are. Go on.
No, let's go together. Let's go together. Cheers. Don't know if you cheers this, but... Yeah.
A celebratory starter Sara can make to impress. Foolproof lemongrass crab cakes with cucumber radish salsa.
I think we did good. The salsa really makes it, doesn't it?
Absolutely beautiful. Sara's also planning an intimate family dinner for her birthday. You can't go wrong with duck for a celebration, especially with brandy sauce. The usual way of cooking duck breast is to leave the skin on, perhaps scoring it, put it in a dry pan and cooking it to get it crunchy. But to make it ahead, do this. With a small knife, cut under the skin and firmly pull it back. So there it is. And I've got 2 lovely duck breasts. Pop them on a plate and drizzle them with a little honey, and that'll help to brown them quickly. Season. Then into a hot pan sizzling with sunflower oil and butter. 2 minutes on each side. put a little bit of honey on the top of that. I do this on chicken breast too, especially if you've got strips of chicken breast. If you don't put a little bit of honey or brown sugar on them, they remain a pale colour and overcook. Season. So turn them over. Oh, gosh, look at that gorgeous colour. That's just what you're looking for. Onto a tray and into a 180 fan oven for 8 minutes. Easy. They look wonderful, just what I want them to be, beautifully browned. I'm not leaving them on the metal tray because they would go on cooking. I want to rest them without cooking them anymore. That's it. So while the duck breasts are resting, I'm going to make the brandy and watercress sauce. In the same pan, add more butter and finely chopped banana shallots. They will absorb the flavours from the duck. Just give that a stir and let it get tender. Then I'm going to add a couple of tablespoons of brandy, whatever's in the cupboard. And the smell is wonderful. Dijon mustard, Worcester sauce. That's looking all right. Just a splash of lemon. That's it. And half a pint of this glorious double cream. As soon as you add something like brandy and cream, it's special. Season and it's done. The other Saturday we were doing absolutely nothing and I made the evening very special by making this duck. I suppose you'd call it a date night, but if I said that to my husband, he wouldn't know what I was talking about. Finely chopped watercress goes in at the end or it will lose its colour. Sauce is made, the duck is rested, now I'm going to serve it up. For a dish this special, I want the plate to look magnificent. Diagonal cuts, nice sharp knife, which is lovely. Oh, that's just perfect. If Sara served this at one of her dinner parties for her birthday, gosh, I think it would go down really well. Something really special. I can't wait to tuck in. Bet you when, Vinny. It's so tender. In fact, I'm going to have another one right now. Duck breast with brandy and watercress sauce. It's very smart, but wonderfully foolproof. Cliveden House has hosted many guests over the centuries. From Queen Victoria to Gandhi, Charlie Chaplin to the Beatles. But we all know you don't need such grand settings to entertain those we love. Did you often go round to your mum's for tea?
Actually, I love to have her to our house because I often have my mum and dad and then Simon's mum and dad and my sister and her husband, and I don't mind catering for the 5,000, whereas it feels a lot for my mum to manage. And I've got a lovely big table and we can all sit there as a family and I just love it. I love having a house full and I love entertaining and having parties and people around.
Perfect. This next recipe is an ideal centrepiece for Sara's celebrations. Coq au vin, patina pie. I've got a medium-sized chicken here. Choose a pan that's just about the right size. It'll be a tight fit. So in it goes. That's it. I've got a whole onion here, and you see I've left the skin on. Well, the skin gives colour to the stock. Squeeze in celery, carrots, a few bay leaves, and 2 pots of shop-bought concentrated stock. So in goes the water. That's it. As you can see, the chicken is snug in there. Hardly any room for the water, so it'll give a concentrated stock. Season and bring to the boil, then simmer for about an hour. When it's done, let the chicken cool, save the stock and get on with the sauce. Starting with sunflower oil and streaky bacon.
And who doesn't like the smell of bacon? I think my husband would think it was breakfast time and you have that marvellous bacon smell. Well, chance would be a fine thing he's not getting it. With the shallots, I kept a little bit of the root there because it means that they'll hold together better. So in they go, those up a bit.
Whole button mushrooms in next.
I've always enjoyed coq au vin because it's a classic French dish, but a bit fun to have it in a pie and you get a lovely, rich, flaky crust on top.
Grated garlic and some intense tomato puree.
Now let me show you a really foolproof way of getting a rich sauce that's beautifully smooth.
Whisk brandy and red wine into the flour, making sure that there are no lumps.
That's having a good sizzle and it's ready to have that wine sauce going in. And keep stirring until it's thickened.
Reduce the liquid by a third and pour in the saved stock from the chicken.
Oh, that's heaven in a pan. And now for the final touches.
Fresh oregano, a splash of Worcester sauce and seasoning.
I'll tell you what, perfect.
Finally, the chicken skinned and sliced.
And it's beautifully moist and succulent, and that's because we poached it first. I've got some breast and some thigh, so everybody will get a bit of both.
Now simply spoon into a pie dish.
Oh, the smell is just wonderful. This is going right to the top. That looks very special, but it's going to have pastry on top, and that'll be a showstopper.
Begin by pressing strips of puff pastry around the wet edge. Carefully place on the lid and trim away any surplus, which will be used to decorate.
You know, sometimes I've done, particularly for a chap, a pie for a birthday rather than having a cake. And I've written happy birthday across it.
Finish by fluting the edges, crimping between your fingers to seal. Glaze and decorate.
And of course, Sara is a star, so why not?
Make a small hole in the middle to release the steam and into the oven 200 fan for about 40 minutes.
Just listen to this. Crisp. Sawing action. Listen to the crispy pastry.
This foolproof showstopper is the ultimate celebration meal.
Well, I hope it tastes as good as it looks. Here goes. Do you know something? That is absolutely gorgeous. I'm cock-a-hoop about this coq au vin.
Showing Sara how to cook for her parties is an absolute joy. This next one couldn't be grander. Langoustine Paella. A dish that will have her guests in awe.
I love paella, but it feels a bit too advanced. I've never, ever dared try it.
Preparation is key, but I promise it's not hard.
I'll start the frying, and I've got some olive oil here going in the bottom.
Straight in with a finely chopped onion.
I would love nothing more than to have friends round and have a homemade paella that I actually made.
And you don't need this special pan to make it.
It'll taste just the same if you did it in a frying pan.
Crushed garlic, then in with the peppers.
Then we're going to add a tablespoon of paprika.
And paella's most defining spice, saffron.
I've soaked the saffron in warm water.
It's not cheap, but a little makes all the difference.
I like that. That sounds good, doesn't it?
It looks the business.
Paella rice is easy to get and makes this dish.
I can't believe I'm going to cook paella.
It's such a good thing for a crowd.
Yes, it is. And it's such a good talking point. Mary, everybody will be going home saying, I went to Sarah's house and she made a homemade paella.
We like a drop of wine, don't we?
Yes, we do.
Right.
A generous glug of wine into the pan. Keep stirring, Sarah.
Yes, boss chef. It smells amazing.
Tinned chopped tomatoes
That's it.
and a pint of fish stock.
Right, so do I need to be stood over it, stirring it all the time so it doesn't...
You'll have a glass of wine in your hand.
I will.
You'll be with your friends.
Yeah, on the
and,
terrace.
On the terrace.
No matter where you are, simmer for 20 minutes until the liquid is absorbed. Then in with the wonderful seafood. Mussels, cod, squid. Cover and let them steam for around 10 minutes.
Shall we have a look and see how it's
Let's
doing?
have a little peek then.
Right.
I'm dying to see.
How about that?
Look at that!
The mussels have opened up and the squid is just perfect.
Oh, it looks it.
Finally, some peas and chopped parsley for colour. And the crowning glory, langoustines.
They make it smart, special.
Oh, they
and
do.
everybody thinks, what a sheer luxury. If you can't get langoustine, of course you could put prawns just the same.
I know, but look how good these look.
They do.
Some lemon wedges, and this celebration is complete.
How about that?
Look at that.
Are you proud?
Very proud.
The squeezed lemon all over the top. Success.
I mean, that's pretty good. I would never have dreamed of cooking mussels and squid. They're the things I would only ever buy in a restaurant, but I love them.
Remember to read through the recipe a couple of times, get all your preparation done, your plate's ready to serve, and you should have a wonderful 40th birthday.
Now, what's a party without a pud? And this one never fails to impress.
Floating islands, or as they call it in France, île flottant. It's meringues on top of custard. It looks very impressive, and I've got a foolproof way of cooking those meringues.
Start with the custard.
The joy of this recipe is that you use the yolks for the custard and the whites for the meringue, so you've nothing to use up afterwards.
Add corn flour, caster sugar and vanilla extract to the 3 egg yolks. And whisk until smooth.
You know, before we had electric mixers, the Victorians, and a bit later, had huge, great mussels, the cooks, because they were using just a balloon whisk for meringues, for cakes, for everything.
Add the milk, which is just below boiling.
Give it a beat.
Before straining the mix, back into the pan and onto the heat.
And I'm going to stir it until it thickens. There's nothing as good as a homemade custard. This is just the right consistency now.
Pour into a 26 centimetre shallow dish.
I'm just going to let that cool a little so that it's a bit firmer, because I'm then going to put the meringues on top.
Whisk the 3 egg whites until cloud-like.
It's really rather soft. Doesn't stand up in peaks.
Then again, but this time slowly adding the caster sugar.
Now, easy peaks. It is beautifully glossy. It'll just bend over at the top as I turn it.
The custard is cool and ready for its floating islands.
I'm going to make oval shapes like that. And I'm going to do 8. This is a term, French term, it's called quenelle, which means oval shapes. So I'm not letting them touch each other, and believe it or not, you can actually move them a bit. Who doesn't like custard? Who doesn't like meringue?
Pop that into the oven at 120 fan for about 15 minutes to lightly colour and set the meringue. A perfect pud.
Just when I touch it, it's not sticky, and it's going to be marshmallow-like in the centre. All that it needs now is some caramel on the top. It does give the finishing touch.
Dissolve caster sugar into water in a stainless steel pan.
If you try to use an old pan that was once non-stick or a non-stick pan, 9 cases out of 10, it will crystallise. Once you've dissolved it slowly, you can boil rapidly until it's caramel colour. Very easy. Most important is not to stir it once you've dissolved the sugar. Put the spoon out of the way. And when that noise stops, it will begin to colour. Can you hear it dying down? That's just absolutely perfect. Swirl it round, and that's just the colour. So I'm doing a sort of zigzag. You can do just what you like. That's it. Here goes. Bit of custard with that. Can you hear the crunch? A lovely soft centre there. You needn't come with me, but I'm going out to finish it.
Sarah, have you enjoyed your day?
Are you kidding? It's been brilliant. I'm going to be having paella parties, several of these paella parties for the 40th birthday year, and I'm loving the posh canapes now. Now I can do those little crab cakes. There'll be no stopping me, Mary.
That's not all you're going to do.
Oh, is it
I
not?
would like you to make foolproof floating islands.
What?
I've written it out step by step.
Foolproof floating islands. OK.
It is not difficult if you follow the recipe.
So basically, I just need to do everything you've told me today.
Yes.
Read the recipe 3 times before I start, get everything out and focus.
Well, I'll drink to that.
I'll drink to that too. I'll let you know how I get on.
It's been a sheer pleasure.
Yes.
Happy birthday, Sarah, from all of us.
So, I'm entertaining a house full, and I thought it would be as good a time as any to try Mary's foolproof floating island recipe. What do we think, Mary? How's your little apprentice doing?
Well done, Sarah. Next time, the repair shop's Will Kirk trades in his woodworking tools for tongs.
Oh, yes.
Following my foolproof alfresco recipes
Oh, that looks good.
Look at the juice.
to bring barbecues to life.
Sheer luxury.
This gets a 10 out of 10 for me.